Psalms 106. When I say that, so give glory to the Ishi, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Who shall declare the powers of the Ishi? Who shall set forth all his praise? Blessed are they that keep judgment and do justice at all times. Remember us, O Ishi, in the favor of thy people. Visit us with thy salvation. See, you can put any name you want in there. Jesus, Yah, whatever. No, he didn't ask any of them for the salvation, to visit them with salvation. He asked the Most High, the only one that can grant salvation, to be the one to give to the people. Let's see here. That we may see the good of thy chosen. That, see, give them the salvation, redeem them, right? So then so the people that are his nation, the people that are his upright, the ones that try to live for justice and do the right things at all times, can be distinct and separate from everyone else. That's what it kind of says to me. Let's see. That we may rejoice in the joy of thy nation, that thou mayest be praised with thy inheritance. Who are the inheritance? Is the children. They told us that in previous chapters. The children are the Most High's inheritance. Let's see. We have sinned with our fathers. We have acted unjustly. We have wrought iniquity. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. They remembered not the multitude of thy mercies, and they provoked to wrath, going up to the sea, even the Red Sea. And he saved them for his own name's sake, that that he might make his power known. Wow, Freudian slip there. Let's see. And he rebuked the Red Sea, and it was dried up, and he led them through the depths as in a wilderness, and he saved them from the hand of them that hated them, and he redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. And the water covered them that afflicted them. There was not one of them left. And they believed his words, and they sang his praise. They had quickly done. They forgot his works, and they waited not for his counsel. See, we have plenty of examples in the Old Testament, plenty of examples of what happens when you pull the trigger and you jump the gun and you go before the Most High says, you go before you heard from the Most High. And I'm not saying he speaks to you. I'm saying we have to learn patience. So when these times are returned to us, we know from the examples that we have, the multitude of examples that we have, not to jump the gun. Just remember Daniel in the lion's den. Did he know there was an angel that he came to shut the mouths of the lions? Or did he go, was he sent into the pit not having his answers to his prayers yet, and he was still waiting on the Most High? Still trusting in him. I'm just saying, that's what comes to my mind. If you really think about that situation, the fear, the anxiety, all of that. Or like I always think to myself, well, I know I'm supposed to live, will I bargain? Will I squirm? I mean, who are the guillotines for? And they coveted their desires in the desert, and they tempted God in the place without water. That was the story of Moses, right? The Most High told Moses, speak to the rock and water will come out. And they were like, the children of Israel were doing things to make Moses, extremely mad. So Moses, in his anger, struck the rock instead of speaking to it, being disobedient to the Most High, right? And he gave them their request and sent fowls into their souls. And they provoked Moses in the camp, Aaron, the Holy One of the Ishi. The earth opened up and swallowed Dathan, and it covered the congregation of Abiron. Those are the two that tried to lead a rebellion against Moses and Aaron. And the Most High put a stop to that. So think about that when we're all coming together, and it's time for us to leave the North Country. Think about that when you those that want to come along that have bad intentions and want to take over because you want to be leaders, and you have wickedness in your heart. Think of this example. Think of what he did here to Dathan and Abiron. And a fire was kindled in their congregation. The flame burned the wicked, and they made a calf in Hebron. Hebron. And they adorned the graven image, and they changed their glory into the likeness of a calf that eateth grass. Now think about it, right? That's not that far fetched from what we see today. That's not that far fetched. How many people want to look like a dragon? The people that want to look like a cat, a dog, a tiger, a bird. These kind of people. That's what I think of when I see that. When I read that. So it's not that far fetched. They forgot Eloha, who saved them, who had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Cham, terrible things in the Red Sea. Now, bear with me for a moment, all right? Bear with me for a moment. Let's see. Cham. So we know this is the image that they say the Cham looks like, right? Now, I want you to think about something here. This right here. This is almost starting to make me think about when the Rastafarians and Anthony L. Elmore quotes Godfrey Higgins that there was two Egypts. One was in China, and there was a group that left Egypt in China and went and founded Egypt in Africa, right? We know they claim Cham right now today is part of this Vietnam, Thailand, this region. It makes me think though, right? It makes me think because there was a war, the war of Cham versus Khmer. We learned about Khmer when that man went over there and spoke to the young man at that temple, that Angkor Wat temple, and he explains, the whole, the Khmers were melanated men and women that that were overthrown on their wedding day by the king, the Chinese king, because he didn't like the union of the Khmer and the pale Chinese princess, right? So he brought 9 of his friends with him to go to war on their wedding day, catching them off guard. So when we see the Khmer Empire, we know those were melanated people. Think about this, right? I did that video, Afro-Asiatic, where the oldest bones found in the world, not the world, the oldest bones found in South Asia are described as being sub-Saharan African, right? So that would mean Cham came from somewhere else to overthrow Khmer, right? To take his land from him. And you can look at the palaces and the temples of the Khmer Empire. You can see the women are the dead giveaway. Look at the women that they carve on the walls, right? You'll see you can see the ones that they've done touch-up work to try to fit the image of the people there today. Because, you look at some of them and, the stone is like a dark grayish black, and you'll see something has chipped away at it recently, and there's a new bright gray stone there. And the other ones look like somebody took some type of sander. They took a sander to the lips, the nose, and the eyebrows, and the forehead. So I can't use the imaging. They have yeah, yeah. It was this one here, the Tampangling remains. I believe I pronounced that right. The skull fragments found in 2009 at the Tampangling cave and Los Lace, or however you say that, are the oldest modern human remains found in South Asia. The skull was identified as belonging to a modern human with distinct sub-Saharan African features. Let's see. And he said that he would destroy them had not Moses, his chosen, stood before him in the breach to turn away his wrath, lest he should destroy them. And they sat at naught to des- to not the I'm sorry, and they sat at naught the the desirable land. They believed not his word, and they murmured in their tents. They hearkened not to the voice of the Ishi. And he lifted up his hands over them to overthrow them in the desert, and to cast down their seed among the nations, and to scatter them in the countries. Let's see here. They were also initiated to Beelphegor and ate the sacrifices of death. Okay, so who's the worshippers of Beelphegor? One group, the Lord of the Gap, is a demon, one of the seven princes of hell, who helps people make discoveries. Oh, I wonder if the he people by suggesting to them inventions, ingenious inventions. Wow, that sounds like some Freemason thing, right? Inventions that will make them rich. Yeah, that's probably a guy that's popular amongst the Freemasons. Invocation, Lucifer, man, I'm not saying no. He's not gonna be Bishop Hunter. I believe Beelphegor is no means. No, this might be a waste of time. Nope, another freeze. Beelphegor was Baal of the mountain. Let me Lord of the mountain. I got you. Lord Peel on the mountain of Moab. Huh? The idols of Baal seems to be the possessor, the one who holds the real dominion and raging. Beelphegor was the Moabite deity who ruled over. Some identify him with the nation of the god of the Moabites. What? They said he was mentioned in Numbers 25. Okay, okay, okay. So wait. How come the Moors never mentioned this? How come they never mentioned this, dude? Hold on, let's see. I want to speed this up. See if it. Get it translate just to speed this. Oh, quit acting out. Stop. Oh, man. Let's see. Where was it again? All right. Let's see if this will stop acting out. Just went down to Palestine. Kingdom of the Shepherds. All right. Let's get. Help me out here. Give me some clarity.
Beelphegor was the ball of Mount Phegor, or Peor, a mountain of Moab. The exact idea of Baal seems to be the possessor, the one who holds the real domination. Lagrange, Religion Semitiques, 83-84. So Beelphegor was the Moabite divinity who ruled over Phegor. Some identify him with Chamos, Chemosh, the national god of Moab, but this is not at all certain, as many localities had their local deities, apparently distinct to the popular mind. To the Baal was generally ascribed the fertility of the soil and the increase of flocks. He was worshipped by offerings of the products he gave and often by unchaste practices done in his honor at his sanctuary. One of the great works of the prophets was to stamp out this immoral cult on the soil of Palestine.
Israel came in contact with Beelphegor at Shittim on the plains of Moab. Their last situation before entering the land of, they don't spell it with that H, Canaan. Here, many men of Israel, as a of their with the women of Moab, took part of the sacrificial in honor of. Well, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I should have, but I didn't know that. Wow. So yeah, Beelphegor, sacrifices, right, of death. They leave that. They left that out. That Catholic encyclopedia. They made it sound like it was fruits and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah. Initiated, huh? They were initiated to Beelphegor. Well, who does initiations? Secret societies and fraternities? I'm wondering if the Moors still practice that today. That is disturbing. Also, let's see. And they provoked him with their inventions, just like they said, right? Beelphegor, the Lord of inventions. And destruction was multiplied among them. Then Penthes? How do you pronounce his name?
Phines.
Stood up and what is this? Profaned.
Pacified.
Stood up and pacified him, and the slaughtered ceased, and it was reputed to him unjust and unjust to generation and generation forevermore. And they provoked him also at the waters of contradiction. And Moses was afflicted for their sakes. Let's see. Because they ex, exasper, exasperated his spirit, and and he and he distinguished with his lips. Yeah, distinguished. And oh, they did not they did not destroy the nations of which the Ishi spoke unto them. Remember, after the walls of Jericho, there was some, yeah, yeah, we know. I don't have to go into explain it. So, and they were mingled among the heathens and learned their ways. Jeremiah says, don't do that, right? And served their idols. And it became a stumbling block to them. And they sacrificed their sons and their daughters to devils. Sounds like what Lex is reading right now, right? And they shed innocent blood, the blood of their sons and of their daughters, which they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood, and let's see, and was defiled with their works, and they went aside after their own inventions. So we got the name of their god of their inventions. Where is he? Yep, right there. Let's see. And the issue was exceedingly angry with his people, and he abhorred his inheritance, and he delivered them into the hands of the nations, and they that hated them had dominion over them. Let's see. And their enemies afflicted them, and they were humbled under their hands. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel. Now we know about counsels now. And they were brought low by their iniquities. And he saw then they were in tribulation, and he heard their prayer, and he was mindful of his covenant, and repented according to the multitude of his mercies, and he gave them to mercies in the sight of all those that had made them captives. Save us, O Ishi, our Eloha, and gather us from among the nations, that we may give thanks to thy holy name, and may glory in thy praise. Blessed be the Ishi, the Eloha of Israel, for from everlasting to everlasting. And let all the people say, so be it, so be it. So, sorry I made it rougher than it had to be, but I didn't pre-read this all. But anyways, that was interesting. I'm still stumbling over, because it's the other deity of Moab and of the Moabites. I mean, that's more than, I can't remember the other guy's name, but there was another one we had seen in one of the other chapters that the Moabites were worshiping. And it's like, this is disturbing. These people are this close to us. They look like us. It's just disturbing. Just how our people fell for that once before. It just leaves me wow. And initiating them, this is nothing ever changes.